Putting together this project because it's also very important for me to learn more about my roots, and ultimately it would be fantastic if we could increase awareness and just share the beautiful story about our Yaqui roots.
If you find out you have a connection or there's a thread there, and you pursue it and you wanna find out, where did I really come from and who are my grandparents and so on.
This is La Canción del Tío Francisco Tapia.
And the message of this project has a lot to do with not only my journey trying to discover what it means to be a strong Yaqui woman, what it meant to my grandmother, great-grandmothers, and my ancestors before me. My name is Miroslava Gonzalez. I am a strong Yaqui woman. That's the mantra that my grandmother used to repeat time and time again. Researching and looking into my roots has been something that, I want to do for not just myself, but for my son and for my nieces. My grandmother spent many years researching and trying to reconnect to her roots. And she passed away without ever getting the answers she was looking for. I'm so lucky to be able to have access to all of these documents and photos online, and I'm finding out about a rich history, my ancestors, what they did, who they were. We came from somewhere. And I live here in New York with my mom on the eastern end of Long Island. Long Island. The wicked cold weather's not fun to be out and about in. It has its ups and downs, but lots of ups. In spite of how cold it might get out here, and as bummed as I might be that I'm not at the beach or close to my family, we really do make the most of it. This awesome package that I've been waiting for from my friend, Jay Valley. He's a Yaqui artist.
You have one life, man. You have one life. And when you're gone, people are going to remember you for that, for what you've done and who you are. So I'm JJ Lopez from Yaqui Yaqui tribe and Yaqui Nation, Guadalupe Pueblo. And this is my art behind me. It's a representation of my Yaqui roots, my Apache roots, and my Nahuatl Mexican roots.
The piece of artwork that was delivered is a young girl with the world in her hands. It depicts a hummingbird, it has the cactus, it really speaks to the desert life that our ancestors lived in and revered. I don't understand why my grandmother didn't speak much about our indigenous roots. There was a tragedy that her mother, my great-grandmother, suffered in Sonora, and I did get some information from one of my aunts.
¿Aló?
Hi, tía, ¿cómo estás? Es la Lavita.
Bien, mija. Sí, nomás voy a dar agua rápido.
Ok, perfecto. Te queríamos empezar. Yo te quería preguntar algunas cosas sobre la machita, porque estoy tratando de encontrar información sobre nuestras raíces.
Sí, algo me contó tu abuelita Sofía, pues que lo mataron, ¿verdad? Y pues tu machita, tu bisabuelita, tuvo que ella salir adelante con sus hijos. Y se vino de por allá de Magdalena, Sonora, de donde eran.
La gente de Sonora tenía muy buenos sentimientos, algunos, ¿verdad? Porque desgraciadamente, como sabemos, un familiar terminó con la vida de mi abuelo. Entonces, como en esta vida puede haber personas buenas y hay personas malas, ellos eran unos de las buenas personas.
La machita se quedó sola y dejó tierras, quedaron allá tierras que luego tu abuelita Sofía quiso arreglar todo eso, pero también pues por ser solita, mujer sola, pues se quedó, nadie la apoyó en eso, pues, ¿verdad? y ahí perdió terrenos que hubo de por medio, ¿verdad? Pues ya ves que a veces pasa eso, que por esas razones son los pleitos y todo, y pues se aprovechan cuando las mujeres quedan solas, viudas y ¿verdad? Pues viudas y con hijos tienen que también salir y pensar, salir de donde son, porque a veces hasta les amenazan o algo. Tú sabes que todo eso trae muchos problemas.
Sí. Every generation since great-grandmother Machita, her name was Andrea Tapia, but we used to call her Machita. So every generation from Machita to my grandmother and her 3 sisters and brother to now, every generation I feel has gotten stronger. My cousin Priscila Coronado is 100% a strong Yaqui woman. After a year at Harvard Law, my little cousin Priscila was nominated as the first Latina president of the Harvard Law Review. The joy in my aunt's voice, hearing my mom tell the story to her friends, this is proof of that strong Yaqui blood and that strength within us. It's proof of our immigrant parents. All of our parents' hard work and sacrifices are not being taken for granted. And not only Priscila, but some of my other nieces, nephews, and other generations of young Yaqui warriors are gonna forge this path, a path that's gonna be stronger than any of the generations.
Yes, so I actually self-nominated myself, but I was elected as president of Harvard Law Review. I went through a few things that other candidates had to go through, so like writing a candidate statement. They asked me questions in front of all of the other editors on the journal, and I had to do like a practice assignment, and then I went through, people debated my candidacy and like other candidates. I wasn't part of it, but that's when they debated the candidates and then they elected me during that process. I think being a strong Yaqui woman means persevering despite all of the barriers and hurdles that we might face. I think it means having to break generational curses sometimes, and I hopefully am starting to do that like you did as well, which by accessing higher education and making sure that our future family members don't really have to go through what our past ancestors went through. So I think perseverance is what I think of when I think of a strong Yaqui woman.
Así que Priscila es una gran bendición para la familia y va a continuar siendo bendición no solamente para nosotros como familia, sino para la comunidad y para las ciudades. ¿Y por qué no para Estados Unidos? Porque ella ha logrado hacer historia en Estados Unidos. Eso es lo interesante.
Jack, my son, he got off the bus, and I love when he's beaming and smiling and practically skipping. It just brings my heart so much joy. And we were able to share an amazing moment. So we put together this spin art machine. I also love to watch the world through his eyes. I love that feeling, like when we were sledding. Living that carefree moment with him is very important, and it helps me reconnect, not just with him, but with my inner child.
Compré, qué hermoso. So, este es un libro para ir pues aprendiendo, leyendo y para luego pasarle.
Yaqui Resistance and Survival. Oh, it's beautiful, mira.
Yaqui, yeah, Resistance and Survival, the struggle for land and autonomy, 1821 to 1910. The desert always calls me. I've always felt like the desert, the moon. And so for me, it's not just reconnecting with my family, but reconnecting with nature and reconnecting with my roots. The Yaqui tribe is spread out actually throughout various places, but we would be going back. I do want to go back and visit our ancestral lands. The homestead would be amazing if I could find where my great-grandfather had his farm and where everyone was from. It's been just great to be able to go online and find all of these documents from 200 years ago.
Con mis ojos de niño Yaqui, qué lindo está. Qué hermoso.
Enséñamelo. So, ese es un cuento que se lo podemos leer al niño. Mira, Diccionario Yaqui, Español y Textos. Obra de preservación lingüística. Okay. Oh, this is another. Cuentos, mitos y leyendas Yaqui. Wow, para el niño. Mitos y leyendas. And then, comida tradicional Yaqui.
Eso me interesa, mamá. Tú sabes que me encanta. Comida sonorense sé hacer, pero Yaqui, algunas recetas, pero me interesa mucho este.
Y este es 3 procesos de lucha por la sobrevivencia de la tribu Yaqui. Testimonios. I've found so much information about the rich Yaqui culture. Not only, finding it online and reading it in books, however, also connecting with a lot of like-minded people on Instagram, on Facebook, on social media, and connecting with them. So I'm finding that there are others who are willing to share the information that I'm really thirsty to absorb. And so I want to be able to kind of record a history of our tribe, because there's very limited information. There's a lot of historical, but really there's not a lot of contemporary information. So going on this journey and documenting it would be something that I'd be able to share not only with my immediate family, but anyone else who's interested in learning about the culture.
El corrido de Francisco Tapia.
Voy a cantar un corrido de un hombre que se murió allá por los años 30, un sobrino lo mató.
Los 30.
En los años 30.
20 antes de nacer. Hermano.
En manos de aquel chacal.
En manos.
Yes, I know I'm a strong Yaqui woman. I know I'm a warrior, and I know I can overcome anything. However, it's also nice to have these little signs throughout the house that remembering the little things in life, remembering to dance when it rains. Yes, there might be cheesy memes now, but it's one of the things that sometimes bring a smile to my face. The times that I've gone back to the desert and really felt like one with my ancestors and the Creator. The Yaqui resilience persevered year after year, generation through generation, and they really truly laid the foundation of the American Southwest, where the Pascua Yaqui tribe continues their stewardship of the land. They continue to protect sacred traditions, rich culture, and its people. What advice do you have as I embark on this journey?
Most of these stories work themselves out. Grandma will say something, or her mother will say something, or somebody will say something, and something just happens to fall in place kind of automatically, and you go, wow, that's weird. How did that come about? Well, it's, I call it an Indian thing, but that's exactly what it is. It's an Indian thing. In the Indian way, we believe in spirits. When a person passes on to the spirit world, we believe that that person's spirit comes back to guide us and show us the paths that we should walk as adults in turning our children or giving them the education. So those are the people that are guiding you, and those are the people that are teaching you unexpectedly ways of how to research yourself and how to meet people and how things happen, you think, wow, that's really weird. You know, how did that come about? Well, it's those spirits that guide you.